T-word simulation. T-word simulation. T-word, yeah.
That group, headed by the U.S. Attorney, would be the Anti-Terrorism Task Force in that U.S. Attorney's district. These task forces will be a part of a national network that will coordinate the dissemination of information and the development of a strategy to disrupt, dismantle, and punish terrorist organizations throughout the country. First, the task forces will serve as a conduit for information about suspected terrorists between federal and local agencies, so that local police forces can be part and parcel of an effort to prevent terrorist attacks by having access to the information available to federal agencies. Intelligence about terrorist networks obtained by federal agencies will be disseminated through these task forces to the local police officials who can help monitor any terrorist network in their locality. Also, intelligence developed by local police will be conveyed through this collaboration to the federal agencies. This information highway will not be a one-way street. Second, the Anti-Terrorism Task Force.
It won't be a one-way street. You know, information is going to be shared with everybody. There's a pro and con to this. Okay, just like everything else. The pro is that now more agencies will be involved in, protecting the civilians of the United States of America from terrorist activity. They can react quicker. The information is lightning fast. At the same time, it could be used for nefarious purposes. Now, who gets defined as a terrorist? That's the question. Who's a threat? Remember, it's no longer the Department of Justice. It's through the Bush White House who determines what's a terrorist and what's not, right? January 6th, I mean, you had people of the left that basically say that, oh, these idiots were terrorists, right? That's a lot different than saying, that they are similar to Khalid Sheikh Mohammed or, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, or any other, like Saif al-Adil or anybody from Al-Qaeda or the Islamic State, right? The key thing is that who gets to determine who's a threat? It ain't you, the people, it's them, right? That's the problem here.
Each district will serve as a coordinating body for implementing the operational plan.
Do you really trust the government at this point to determine who could be a threat to you? They could say you're the threat. I mean, really, does anybody here trust Joe Biden or Donald Trump? I mean, anybody? At this point, I mean, I don't want to make this
for the prevention of terrorism. Once substantial, credible information is received indicating that individuals or groups in a particular district may be terrorists or abetting terrorism or aiding terrorism, the members of the Anti-Terrorism Task Force, in conjunction with the Criminal Division of the Department of Justice, will determine and implement the most effective strategy for incapacitating any terrorist activity on their part. Third, the Anti-Terrorism Task Force in each district will serve as a standing organizational structure for a coordinated response to any terrorist incident in that district. In sum, the implementation of the task force, coordinated by the U.S. Attorney in each district, working with the FBI, will provide the operational foundation for a concerted national assault against terrorism. This system will provide law enforcement with a comprehensive, seamless approach to attack terrorism within our borders. Now, I understand that this is an aggressive and an ambitious agenda, that it represents a more preventative approach to doing business in the U.S. Attorney's offices together with the FBI than perhaps has been the case in the past. We must all recognize that our mission has changed. It has been changed by the events of this last week.
This is a huge press briefing because they're defining terrorism as what, right? He's not saying Arab radical fundamentalists. Okay, this is very carefully worded. And this is 2000. What is it? A week after 9/11. All right, 24 years later, when you hear the word terrorism, do you automatically link it in the back of your head to Arab fundamentalist groups? No. If you look at people who vote left, again, politics, but this is key. If you look at people who vote left, they think Trump supporters are terrorists. Oh, they invaded the Capitol on January 6th. They're terrorists. Now, Trump supporters, evangelical Christians, look at the left as communists, right? Socialists, atheists, things of this nature. They're terrorists. They allow for Hamas and Hezbollah to attack Israel. They support them. They don't care about the streets. They allow all these criminals to land the street. Terrorists. So it took years of this to come into play and to put it into your mind, to brainwash you, manipulate your thinking. The enemy is no longer outside the borders. That's what 2001 was about. 2025, the enemy is in the borders. It's you. You're the terrorist. And that's exactly what this was. I'm not saying Ashcroft did this on purpose, but this was a setup, right? A setup to play who gets to define what terrorism is. I'm sure Ashcroft had no idea, like what 2025 was going to be like. And these regulations would be twisted to a sense that, terrorism is just defined as Arab fundamentalists. That's no longer the case. That's why I play these videos, because it's not just about the past, it's about the future as well.